And while the holidays can be a time for cheer, it can also be a scary time for some families. In 2023, the National Domestic Violence Hotline received more than 928,000 calls, chats, and texts. California came in at #1 that year for most visits to the hotline. On average, police interventions related to domestic violence rise by 20% in December compared to other months. And joining us now in studio to talk more about these statistics is Beth Hassett, the CEO of WEAVE. And WEAVE is actually an acronym, isn't it?
Well, it used to be Women Escaping a Violent Environment, but now we say when everyone acts, violence ends. It's everybody's responsibility to help us end domestic violence.
Absolutely. And so you do see a spike in this around the holidays, don't you?
We do, and we tend to see the biggest spike right after Christmas because a lot of families are trying to hold it together during the holidays, especially if there are children involved. They're trying to make it feel special and normalized, and we get most of our calls immediately after either family functions or the holidays are over.
And this can even be a really difficult time for someone who has survived something like this.
Well, very often, if they're separated but have kids together, it's an opportunity for their abuser to continue abusing and manipulating them by maybe refusing to hand the kids over when he's supposed to, or pick them up when he's supposed to. You know, it's just forced interaction with somebody that, you know, they have a painful and dangerous past with.
Are there signs that we should be looking out for just in case we maybe notice something off, or, you know, in a way to try and help somebody who may be going through something like this?
I think paying attention to your friends and family members, if you're in a social situation, very often you do see signs. Maybe their partner is super charming, but you notice that your friend is very quiet or doesn't seem happy. So I think just noticing what people are going through and looking for bad behavior too. When people are drinking, it can escalate an already, if not abusive, unhealthy relationship and really set it over the edge.
What are some of the stressors that maybe we can try to avoid?
You know, some of the stressors are just being in social situations. A lot of domestic violence perpetrators are really jealous people. So when their partner's dressed up and looking cute and maybe talking with other people at a party, that can trigger them. Financial stressors, if there's a lack of agreement about how much money you're going to spend, or a partner that's financially abusing their partner by getting them into debt. So those kinds of things. And, you know, just anything with kids. I think a lot of time those kids are unfortunately used as a weapon.
What are some of the resources available for people who may be going through this?
I encourage anybody to call our support line. Even if you're not ready to leave yet, it can be a good planning session to think about, you know, what do I need to plan for if maybe after the holidays I do want to leave? What documents do I need to get ready? Does this count as domestic violence? A lot of people really minimize what's going on for them if there's not physical violence. So I just encourage people to reach out, just get more information, go to our website, look at what the signs of domestic violence can look like and what supports there are.
Yeah, and on that note, I just watched It Ends With Us on Netflix, and it was really eye-opening because sometimes you may not think, you know, it's a neurosurgeon or something, you know, or a doctor or something like that. So it's really eye-opening to be able to look out for all the signs to help other people.
Yep, and it touches everybody at all ages, even teenagers.
All walks of life.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much for being here and everything that you do with WEAVE. We really appreciate it.